How you what? Let's get right to it. Today we're going to be talking about features. As an audio engineer, I see a lot of people are interested in features. I've seen people spend the bag on features and not get any bag back. So that's what I want to do is give some tips to help you in the process of buying a feature, things to look out for and things to do that will help you be able to recoup the cost of that feature. The main thing is knowing how to value a feature. If you hit up an artist and they say 5,000 bucks for the feature, you need to know how much money you're going to be able to make off that, what the value of that feature actually is for you. Because you don't want to spend a 5,000 bucks and then not make any back and not grow your following. That would be what's considered a failure. The reason you get the feature in the first place most of the time is so that you can get in front of their audience, which to do that, I have some tips that most artists don't know that we'll get into. To value the feature in the first place, say an artist says $5,000. To know approximately how many streams you're going to get, you have to know how many followers that artist has on Spotify, not the monthly listener number. The monthly listener number is the most bullshit one. If you buy fake streams, it goes up, it goes down, depending on the time. But the followers is how many people will actually see the song if it's dropped as a primary feature, which means if it's dropped as the artist song too, you can judge it by how many followers they have, how many people will stream it. So say the artist is charging 5,000 bucks. You go to his Spotify page, you scroll down to the About section, you click on that, and you see how many followers he has. If he only has 1,000 followers, with Spotify paying 0.004 cents a stream, that means you're only going to make $4 off the track. Was it worth $5,000? Of course not. Then you would negotiate with the artist and try to bring it down. Now you might be saying, hold up, you said something about a primary feature. What's a primary feature? I was just trying to get a feature. Let me break it down. If you just buy the feature, you spend 5,000 bucks and it's just the feature, there's a chance you could get 0 streams. I've literally seen it happen because that song is going to appear in the artist appears on section, not as their new single. It's going to be the songs that they're featured on, which usually is a bunch of bullshit songs that nobody listens to. To guarantee yourself streams, you have to ask for what's called a primary feature. This lets the song be your song and the other artist's song. You'll add them both as primary artists on the track. So instead of you featuring the artist, it'll be you and the artist where it's separated by a comma. And this will allow the song to be your single and their single, which means that the following they have on Spotify and Apple and the different services will see the song compared to if it was only a feature. When you ask the artist for this, I've seen artists say, let's do it, but you got to pay me 500 bucks more. Now, is it worth it? If you're already paying 5,000 bucks for a feature and they ask for 500 bucks more, I think it is worth it because it's guaranteeing you streams based on how many followers they have. You still need to make sure that the value is there, but if you don't do the primary feature, you don't want to spend all that money to get 0 streams and 0 followers out of it. You want to make sure that you're going to reach his following because at the end of the day, that's why people buy features is to reach the other artist's following because hopefully they're in a similar lane and their fans might like your music. The primary feature, even if it costs more, to me is a necessity just to make sure that that artist's fan base will see your song. Third, if you're spending all this money on the feature, you have to have a marketing plan that's going to help people see it. You have to be able to have several ways that you're going to get this song in front of the target audience of the people that probably know the feature artist and are into that type of music. If you don't have a clear plan and clear methods to do this, it's probably not worth spending that much money on a feature because the amount of features that don't get views is actually tremendous. I don't think most people know when they're spending that $1,000 a feature, how many other people spent that $1,000 feature and it did nothing for them. That's the whole point of this video is to help you avoid that worst case scenario of buying a feature that's overpriced and getting 0 streams. The more you can value the feature, to summarize, I'm keeping this video short but we're going to dive into this topic and many more similar topics on the channel. So go ahead, click subscribe. But to summarize, you need to be able to value the feature based on how many followers they have on Spotify to be able to fairly negotiate it. Because in negotiating, the artist will always start off high. They'll always say 5,000, 1,000, 10,000, whatever they want on the high side. And then it's up to you to negotiate and let them know maybe your budget doesn't support that. If you have this amount ready, a lot of the times the artist will still do it. You have to negotiate a fair price. And then the main part is to negotiate the primary feature. You need that song to drop as your song and their song so that it reaches their following. If you don't do the primary feature method, you're basically setting yourself up for failure. Thirdly, you need a full plan. You can't just buy the feature and buy the music video and think you're done. That really is only half of it, because the other half, you might have to spend just as much on the marketing to make sure that it's seen and that it does what you want it to do. Because if you just drop the song and it doesn't get views, you're going to feel real stupid for spending any money on the feature. But ideally, it would be a good song, a good feature for a good price, which leaves you with budget to be able to push it for a long time. If we look at a famous example, when Lil Baby was featured on a Drake song, that catapulted his career. When BFB to Pac-Man had Sada Baby on Free Joe Exotic, that catapulted his career. But it wasn't an accident. It wasn't like he just uploaded the song and that's all they did. He had marketing along with it, and he had a lot of other motion along with it too, where it combined for the synergy to where it really helped boost his brand more so than just dropping the feature. You do want to be careful out here because artists do overcharge. You don't want to look at the monthly listener number. That's the most deceiving number. You need to see how many followers they have, and you need to make sure that your song will be dropped to those followers. I'm for sure not saying it's a bad idea to get a feature. It can be super useful, and it can help legitimize your platform and get you those extra monthly listeners and followers to where now you're selling features and you're able to collab with these bigger artists for free because you're on equal levels. There's a lot of benefit to it, but I feel like 99% of people right now that just buy a feature when they're maybe not ready for it, they're almost getting scammed because they're paying too much and there is no plan to where they're going to recoup any of the money. The more you have a plan to recoup the money and profit off the feature and grow your brand as an artist, the better off you're going to be. Peace.